Welcome back to my Virtua Pro Football player mode series. Sorry for the break between uploads. I wasn't feeling the best over the holidays, but now I'm ready again to go after this league title, and if I'm going to do that, obviously I need to do relation training first. Now that I've got this down, this is pretty straightforward. So 19 points right off the bat, we're already at 6 bars, and I'm going to be able to max out my motivation pretty quickly, which means we're going to be able to do this twice. And much like the first time, we max out our gains. That puts us on 8 bars already going into the first league game of the season. And due to how I do post-commentary on this series, I actually glossed over the fact that we were offered the captaincy role. I wasn't expecting to be captain this early on in the playthrough, but I will gladly take it. This interview outcome lowers our ego, but I should be able to get it back to positive soon enough. And as for training outside of skill games, I'm doing attack because, like I said, I want my attack attribute to catch up to my skill and physical averages. There was one more random event this month, but it's of little consequence because our motivation was going to be maxed out after the key game anyway. So let's go to that. NAC Breda. We beat them 3-0 in a key game last season, but we can't count on being spotted 3 goals all the time. We have to try and score goals in the actual match itself, especially if we're going to get this scenario again. We're 2 goals down. Okay, we've done this before. Let's try it again. This is a trick play to set up an Alex header, and the keeper's too slow to it. It's once again only going to be a 1-goal deficit with plenty of time to find the second. We're once again going down the right wing. Venegor to Farfan, but this header is way too weak, and Van Zwam is on it. I have Bins playing in the centre of the 4-3-3 again because I haven't scored any in-game goals with him so far and would like to get that monkey off his back this season. Not this time, however. That was a tough chance to put away. Breda had chances of their own. Here's Reiters with a somewhat prospective shot. It gets caught without incident. We definitely have more chances overall, though. This is a shot along the ground. A defender takes it. If the bounce had been a little bit better, we might have been able to rebound it, but instead, late in the game, our defense forgets that you don't get called for offside behind the halfway line. Jenna strolls in and makes it 3-1 Breda, and that is going to be what the score finishes at. We lose our first league game. And to add insult to injury, Zukov decides to blame us for the loss, as if it's the centre forward's fault that the defence conceded 3 times. To cheer himself up, Bins decides to go meet Sarah. We have a gift to give to her, and she seems pretty happy with it. With that taken care of, it's time to fix our relation issue since we lost some in that match. And once again, maxing out our gains from this. So we're up to 9 bars, and just like that, it's like we didn't lose at all because we're near the top of the table again. Something I want to point out about the attack boots is that they only give us a 50% boost in extra training of the equivalent type rather than the doubling that power and speed gave me. It's a shame the attack minigame is so unreliable because otherwise it actually would have been optimal for me to use that and switch back to power or speed boots. Instead, I'm going to do the speed minigame, which is more difficult than skill because we have to do the one-on-one against a defender, but then we must also score after that to actually bank our points. And our player right now is the embodiment of Olivier Giroud, but we do at least manage to score 1 here, which means I'll unlock level 2 and get a decent boost from it. Here's a new event that can happen from the mid-game onwards. You can be gifted various food items from fans and or supporters. When consumed, they can randomly boost certain stats, but because they also have the potential to lower stats instead, it's too risky to use in a one-shot, so I'm going to leave it alone. Onward to November, and in the European League, we've drawn Lyon in the first round. Could be a tough matchup. This is Prime Lyon, the team that won all of those French League titles before Paris got bought up. Route for this month is rest, attack, attack. And on week 3, we get a random event that lets us do a little extra training before the game. This Lyon starting 11 is stacked. Coupe, Abadal, Juninho P, Diarra, Guval, Fred, Maluda. They even have Karim Benzema coming off the bench, so we need at least a decent match scenario, and thankfully we are starting 0-0. But that still means we have to either score against Lyon or not concede and then win a lottery penalty shootout. But maybe the latter won't be necessary. Alex through ball Beasley, and we score. We are in fact 1-0 ahead, and now we just got to hold on. Easier said than done, but in this first half of extra time at least, Lyon doesn't really get anything going. Of course, one way to defend the lead would be to simply score again, and here we see Binns get half a chance, but the angle was too narrow. Coupe smothered it. Lyon get a chance down the other end. They're going down the right wing, but Gouveau then kicks it out. Unforced error. So as this match nears its conclusion, this turned out to be an easier contest than I imagined. I think the rationale is that the player mode just uses the default settings for matches, and the comp level is set to 2 out of 5, so as long as you have all 11 players, it's relatively easy to outplay the CPU, though they can still score a goal against the run. Not this time, however. We are through to the next round of the European League. The start of December means that we have the charity event again, and I want to, air quote, invest another 100k into this, and the publicity gains will pay off for us very soon. In the meantime, I'm going to be doing the skill minigame again, but I want to show you that now succeeding 4 out of 4 times isn't enough to actually get to level 5. Because I would have to do advanced tricks in the process, and that comes with an increased risk of failure. So that is why I'll be sticking to speed for the rest of the season. A couple more random events here before the Christmas break. First, a defensive training session with the manager, and then we get asked about ideas for team merchandise. I go with this sensible but tame answer here. I know it boosts our consistency, and I would like to get more mental stats. But anyway, time to go see Sarah again, and she actually has a Christmas present for us, the sunglasses. I don't know what they really do, but it saves me having to buy them, so thank you, Sarah. I skipped over this last season for the sake of time, but each January Robert visits you again to instill a bit of football trivia. I don't know if every single thing he says is factual, but it is interesting. More importantly though, we get a call back for a DVD deal. This is our high publicity starting to pay off, and in this case we actually get some attribute boosts too. Not to our main stats, this is more positional play styles type stuff. I go out with Sarah one more time at the place I was originally planning to go, and then on week 2 I just decide to rest. It's time for the second half of the season. Once again, we are in a top place in the league. Shouldn't be a problem. Time to do another speed minigame. This turned out to be almost a copy of my first pass through. My first attempt I just got tackled. Second attempt I get through and score. Third attempt I'm also through. I think I'm going to go 2 for 3, and then Binns flays it way left for some reason. So we don't unlock level 3. And that also means I probably won't have enough motivation for another minigame before our next league match. We play FC Twente at the start of March, and this also means that the episode is nearly over because I won't play that until the start of next. So let's just blitz through February. I'm either doing attack training or resting throughout the month. At the end of week 1, Farfan asks us about girlfriend trouble. The more sound response here is to say that women are the same as the ball. We don't need the ego boost anymore. You'll see that we're already in the positive. But that's all that really happened in February. So next time, let's see if we can win more titles and maybe even get called up to the English national team, because that was one of the goals of me boosting up my attack attributes this season.